弥陀佛，大家好，法会即将要开始了，请大家将您的手机调为震动或者关机，谢谢大家的合作。 真佛宗美国彩虹雷藏寺，南无红财神护摩法会，法会开始，与会大众请起立，恭迎真佛宗创办人、无上法王根本传承上师圣尊莲生活佛师母莲香上师，请大家虔诚恭敬合掌，唱诵莲花童子心咒。
The Homa fire offering ceremony of Ganapathi, Ganesh or Red Jambhala is starting now. We are welcoming our lineage root Guru, His Holiness Living Buddha Lian-Sheng, to enter into the Homa hall. Let's join our palms and reverently recite the root Guru mantra, the Padmakumara mantra.
我们一起问候师尊好，师母好。现在师尊走进僧的同门哦，大家准备跟师尊师母打招呼哦。
师母好，我们跟师母打招呼哦。好，谢谢好，师母，君子母好，对对。我们想讲师母
我们现在恭请师尊带领大家顶礼坛城，一拜根本传承上师及十方三世一切诸佛，嗡啊吽观想顶礼，回天心三印；二拜诸菩萨，嗡啊吽观想顶礼，回天心三印；三拜诸护法金刚，嗡啊吽观想顶礼。 会天心三印，四平等一起受。恭请法王圣尊莲生活佛升法王座。上师上座。请仁波切这位上师上座。请教授师法师上座。请讲师助教我们善信大德就座。
We are inviting Grandmaster Simu, all the Dhamma Masters, Rinpoche Venerables, and everybody to please take the seats. Now we are inviting His Holiness to please bless the prayers of the primary supplicants. The offering of Hatha. Let us now join our palms with reverence, and we would like to invite Vajramaster Silyensi to represent all of us to present the offering of Hatha to the lineage root Guru to pray for Dharma transmission and the symbol of the highest honor. Visualize two Buddha lineage, Namo Vairocana Buddha, Namo Buddha Lokana, Namo Amitabha Buddha, Namo Padma Kumara, Namo Living Buddha Lian-Sheng. Visualize Grandmaster and all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas sitting on top of our heads, radiating light to bless us. Recite the Padma Kumara mantra 7 times. Perform the visualization of the 4 immeasurables. Visualize on the right ancestors and relatives from the father's side, on the left from the mother's side, friends and teachers behind us, enemies and karmic creditors in front of us, and around us all sentient beings together practicing true Buddha, authentic Dharma, and ultimately attaining Buddhahood. Wake up call. Recite purification mantras. Recite invocation mantra. We sincerely invoke our lineage root Guru, His Holiness Living Buddha Lian-Sheng. Namo White Maha Padma Kumara. Namo Lotus Light Self-Mastery Buddha. Namo True Buddha School Lineage Gurus. We sincerely invoke the main deity of Homa, Namo Ganapathi. We sincerely invoke the main deity of Homa, Namo Ganapathi. We sincerely invoke the main deity of Homa, Namo Ganapathi. Namo of Golden Mother of the Primordial Jetpon. Namo 5 Dhyani Buddhas, True Buddha School 8 primary deities. Namo Yamantaka, Acala, the 4 heavenly kings, Sima Bodhisattva, Limbo temples, all Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, Herukas, Dhammapalas, Dakinis, and divinities. All the deities enshrined at the True Buddha Tantric Quarter, at the Seattle Lechang Temple, and at the abode at the South Mountain Retreat. Limbo temples, Mountain God, Earth God, Plant God, Water God, Fire God, Wind God, all divinities, dragon gods, and the city god to please radiate light and bless this Homa. Great homage using visualization for student Guru and all Buddhas. Visualize for prostration on the ground, release the mudra. Second to all Bodhisattvas. Visualize for prostration on the ground, release the mudra. Third to all Herukas and Dhamma protectors. Visualize for prostration on the ground, release the mudra. Fourth half bow. Great mandala offering. Form the offering mudra. Visualize the transformations of the offerings to become innumerable to fill the whole cosmic space. Make the offering above to the lineage root Guru, all the lineage Gurus, the main deity of Homa, Ganapathi, all Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, Herukas, Dhammapalas, Dakinis, and divinities, and below to all sentient beings. Recite the offering verse and mantra. Mount Meru, 4 continents, and sun and moon transform into precious offerings for the Buddhas. May these wondrous treasures and marriage purge our karma to all of our civilization. Fourfold refuge, visualize our lineage Guru, all the lineage Gurus, Buddha jewel, Dhamma jewel, and Sangha jewel to form bright white light to empower us. Reset the mantra. Namo Buddhaya, 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 Namo Buddhaya. Armor protection. Form Vajraklapsa mudra. Recite Vajrapani mantra 7 times. Om Bodhinanjali, Om Bodhinanjali, Om Bodhinanjali, Om Bodhinanjali, Om Bodhinanjali, Om Bodhinanjali, Om Bodhinanjali. Inviting His Holiness Living Buddha Lian-Sheng to perform blessings with mala. inviting His Holiness Living Buddha Lian-Sheng to set ceremonial demarcation to bless all the offerings, Homa cards, and the registration forms. Please stand up and join our palms with reverence. We are inviting His Holiness to perform the ritual of opening the Homa fire pit, to set ceremonial demarcation around it, to lit the Homa fire, to make all the offerings, and to perform mudra transformations for purifications, enrichments, magnetization, subjugation, and bardo deliverance. Let's all recite the heart mantra of Ganapathi.
恭请法王圣尊莲生活佛升法王座。
Inviting His Holiness Living Buddha Lian-Sheng to please return to the Homa throne. Inviting Sumuvaja Master Lian-Sheng to please take the seat, inviting all the Dhamma Masters, all participants and all viewers to please take the seats.
Ganapathi Ganapathi Ganapathi
Said the mantras of the principal deities and
Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Panamo Ding Tho Ding Soha. Om Ha 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 Wei Samoye Soha. Om Jali Juli Junhi Soha. Om Jambhala Chalam Chalaye Soha. Om Ahom Peta Guru Pema Siti Hom Se. Om Ahom Guru Pe Ah Sasamaha Lian-Sheng Siti Hom. Deata Om Bekatiya Bekatiya Maha Bekatiya Naza Samo Ketake Soha. 南无36万亿11万9500。
Homage to the 36,119,500 Buddhas with the same name identification of Amitabha. Homage to the 36,119,500 Buddhas with the same name identification of Amitabha. Namo 36,119,500 Buddhas with the same name and identification of Amitabha. Recite the supplication to the Buddha to stay the Saha world. I pay homage and supplicate His Holiness, the virtuous and marvelous Tantrika, all Buddhas of the 10 directions, compassionate Bodhisattvas, Herukas, Dhammapalas, and Dakinis, protectors of Dharma. The nights are long, the 3 poisons are proliferating. My body and soul are strictly tumbling in the misery of perpetual rebirth. With great compassion, His Holiness came to this world to salvage the deluded ones. 3 jewels, eminent wondrous light to provide refuge for all. All fortunate beings, human and devas, rely on His Vajra body. For the bestowal of teachings, vows, precepts, empowerments, and attainments, we disciples of Buddha plead that you stay in the Saha world to turn the Dharma wheel and benefit and give happiness to multitudes of sentient beings. Merit dedication. May all uphold the Buddha, ascend to the realm of utmost bliss, repaying forth for generosity, smile birth, aiding those in the 3 realms below. Upon seeing the Buddha, may we transcend life and death. Like the Buddha, may we liberate all. To Buddha school disciples wholeheartedly pray to the main deity of Homa, the tantric wealth deity Namo Ganapathi, to please bestow upon our lineage Guru infinite wealth, resources, wonderful affinity with all beings in the 10 directions, good health, longevity, and continual lineage of the true Buddha Tantric Dharma. Inviting His Holiness Living Buddha Lian-Sheng to perform the overall merit dedication. Wholeheartedly we pay homage to the 5 Dhyani Buddhas, Vajra, Heart, the wealth deity Ganapathi. Wholeheartedly we pay homage to the 5 Dhyani Buddhas, the wealth deity Ganapathi. Wholeheartedly we pay homage to the 5 Dhyani Buddhas, the wealth deity Ganapathi. We pray to the 5 Dhyani Buddhas, the Vajra, to please guide the Bhadra spirits to be reborn into the pure Buddha land. Homage to the wealth deity. I cannot hear. 已经最高了，师尊的没有进来。Please eradicate the coronavirus so that all sentient beings can receive the nectar and gain health. the well deity Ganapathi to please bless all beings. May we be endowed with ample resources, with sufficient wisdom, with harmony, love, and respect. Offering white radish and carrots. Offering the wealth deity. All the resources. And we pray to the wealth deity Ganapathi to bestow upon all beings the greatest wealth, which is Dharma wealth. The 5 Dhyani Buddhas, the tantric wealth deity Ganapathi, homage to Ganapathi, to radiate bright light, so that all sentient beings would gain the greatest good fortune. Gods in heavens, gods on earth, may be far from all calamities, may all calamities banish, let all disasters turn into dust. May all of our prayers be completed according to our wishes. May all calamities disperse. May all illnesses disappear. May all coronavirus disappear. May the pandemic disappear. Enemies and enmities disappear. May all hindrances and obstacles disappear. These are 100 simple mantras 3 times.
Shawa Gama Sutsame Jitamu Siliran Guru Hom Ha 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 He Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Pejamami Mancha Pejapawa Mahasamaya Sato Ahom Pei Om Peja Sato Samaya Malupanaya Peja Sato Tenu Vadicha Jato Mepawa Suto Kayu Mepawa Subo Kayu Mepawa Anurato Mepawa Shawa Siti Memborayata Shawa Gama Sutsame Jitamo Siliran Guru Hom Ha 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 He Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Pejamami Mancha Pejapawa Mahasamaya Sato Ahom Pei Om Peja Sato Samaya Malupanaya Peja Sato Tenu Padicha Jato Mepawa Soto Kayu Mepawa Sopo Kayu Mepawa Anurato Mepawa Shawa Siti Memborayata Shawa Gama Sutsame Jitamo Siliyan Guru Hom Ha 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 He Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Pejamami Mancha Pejapawa Mahasamaya 萨埵阿吽佩。做观想大礼拜，礼拜根本传承上师及十
Great
方
homage
三世
using
一切诸佛。
visualization for Surut Guru and all Buddhas.
观想顶礼。
Visualize for position on the ground, release the
二
mudra.
拜诸菩萨。
Second to all Buddhas.
吽观想顶礼。
Visualize for position on the ground, release the
三拜
mudra.
诸护法。
Third to all Herukas and Dhamma protectors.
吽观想顶礼。
Visualize for position on the ground, release the mudra. Fourth head bow.
念圆满咒。
Recite completion mantra.
Om Bling Om Bling Om Mani Padme Hum。 让我们以最热烈的掌声感谢法王圣尊莲生。
Now let's give the greatest round of applause to our lineage Guru to show our gratitude to His Holiness for presiding over this Ganapathi Homa fire offering ceremony. Now let us join our palms and together we are inviting His Holiness to bestow the precious Dhamma teaching. First, let's pay homage to the lineage Gurus. Homage to the Venerable Mang Liao Ming. Homage to Master Sakya Zengkong. Homage to His Holiness the 16th Karmapa. And homage to Master Dubdan Dorji. Homage to the main deity of Homa today. The wealth deity Ganapathi, the red Jambhala. Sumu, Tanzen Katso, Tutan City, all Dharma masters, Dharma educators, Dharma teachers, Dharma lecturers, Dharma assistants, directors of temples and chapters, and all disciples here and over the internet. Good afternoon, how do you do? Aisteru. Sarangi. Hola amigo. Te quiero mucho. Sugoin. Ichiban. Kimochi ii. Yumi. Yapi. Bling bling. Konnichiwa. Now I would like to announce for next Sunday, on August 9th, Sunday at 3 p.m. there will be Yixicuojia, Buddha Mother's Homa fire offering ceremony. Yixicuojia, Buddha Mother. This deity is the first Buddha Mother of Guru Padmasambhava. So she's also the head of a school or sect, the founder of a sect. And the mantra, her mantra, Om Peta Yixicuojia Padma Siddhi Hom. The sixth syllable is a red hom. Red hom. Welcome to register. And today we had Ganapathi, and I got the news. The news is this past few days that someone won a huge lottery. Last time, during the ceremony, there was someone who won a great lottery prize, and I didn't say who. However, the one who won the lottery did come for the ceremony. We can say he or she is famous in our True Buddha school. Whenever we announce the VIPs, that person always stood up. So that same one, that person lives in Taiwan. Could you guess? And last time, he or she came to Seattle and made an offering. So, could we say that it's a power lottery in Taiwan? And this time, the person who won the lottery is not famous in True Buddha school. Last time, it was a VIP that at the Taiwan temple, whenever we chant her name, that person would always stood up. But this time, I don't even know that person really well. So that person said that that person cannot come. So they would try to wire the money over. So see, we are the school of winning lotteries. And today it's a wealth deity, red Jambhala. I pray to Ganapathi so that we all won some lotteries. Not Grandmaster, but everybody. After we all won lottery, then Grandmaster would gain a little bit of benefits. In this troubled time, that I can gain a little bit of benefits, that's already extremely fortunate. Otherwise, True Buddha School is about to announce bankruptcy. So Ganapathi, please bless a few of these people to win lotteries. The more the better. The Ganapathi today, every time when the mantra chanting was extremely nice. It sounds like the Indian dancing song. The dancing song. He's also one of the great gods of Hinduism. Brahma, Shiva, Vishnu, and then after that is the Ganapathi. So Ganapathi is one of the great gods in India. And Ganapathi is also called Ganesh. The Indian in India is called Ganesh. In Tibet, it's Ganapathi. So see, Ganesh and Ganapathi, similar. So the Tibetan scripts and pronunciation were from Indian Sanskrit. They were related. So Tibetan characters is like the cloud scripts. At that time, Kobodaishi from Japan went to Xi'an and studied Sanskrit. So the scripts of the clouds, so scripts that looks like clouds in the sky, that's Sanskrit and Tibetan. Were the Tibetan scripts and words were transformed from Sanskrit. And Kobodaishi, after visiting Xi'an and studied Sanskrit, he returned to Japan and created Japanese scripts that's combined with the Han characters. So in Japan, they have both Sanskrit-like characters and also Han characters. That's the lineage for the languages, our civilizations. So the culture in Tibet, like Homa, was from the Indian Homa. Homa did not exist in Tibet and not in the Middle Kingdom. It was from the Indian culture because Hinduism and the Brahmanism had Homa, and then it was transmitted to Tibet, and then from Tibet to the Middle Kingdom, and from the Middle Kingdom to Japan, and then to the Tantric Buddhism. That's why Tantric Buddhism has Homa. Homa exists in Tantrayana. And Ganapathi has extremely majestic power. All of his retinue is Saraswati. Saraswati, the Devi of marvelous sound. Saraswati. And Ganesh or Ganapathi has extremely tremendous power. To ask him to have his treasure mouse spit all the treasures, you have to use this mudra. It's called the Wei He In. And the subjugation mudra, one is like this. And then for the with two fingers, subjugation mudra. And then you hold this mudra and visualize the Vajra scepter on top of his head, and then you pray to Ganapathi what kind of treasures you wish for. And then his nose, his trunk would move, and he would spit out those treasures you wish for. He's standing on a blue treasure mouse. And you hold this mudra and you place it on Ganapathi's head. And this is called the majestic mudra, Wei He mudra. And you visualize Ganapathi's trunk would cast out the treasures you wish for. If you wish for Amrita or sweet nectar water, then he would give out the water. Now we will continue on the question and answer. Sincere homage to the lineage root Guru, His Holiness Living Buddha Lian-Sheng. 1. The Rainbow Temple has the twin lotus columbarium, and we can enshrine the ash of our ancestors there. And they can rise to a better realm because they receive the special energy from the earth and through Grandmaster's blessing. Is that so?
Y-E-S.
The answer is Y-E-S. Yes. Think about it. Where else can you find a precious feng shui location where the 7 stars convene on earth? What are they, the 7 stars convening on earth? Behind is the mountain of the official hat. And to the left is the screen mountain. To the right is the peak of favorable people. And to the front is the celestial horse mountain, the banner mountain, the drum mountain, Kusan, Insan, and the Mox mountain. So, Qisan, Kusan, Tiemasan, Insan, Samaosan, Pingfengsan, and Guirenhong. All these 7 peaks surround this piece of land. the ones who can receive the earth energy can become gods. As a feng shui master, we would know, like Ucchusma, she has the coming dragon for thousands of li. And this rainbow temple, the geomancy here, it's the same. It's also the coming dragon of the thousands lis, which is the Rocky Mountains, continuing until here to the Rainbow Mountain. And then, continuing, there are also hills, lower hills. What is the elevation here at the Rainbow Temple? 800 feet. So it's considered pretty high, 800, above elevation, above sea surface. So this kind of geomancy is very rare, where the 7 stars convene with the coming dragon geomancy. And most importantly, when you bring the ash of your ancestors at the Twin Lotus Columbarium, in the least they can become a god. That's really already pretty good. It's really hard to find this kind of geomancy shape. Like for Zhu Yanzhang's father, by coincidence encountered a great geomancy place. He was very poor and had no money to buy a coffin. So it was just being wrapped with a straw mat and then thrown into the mountain and just rolled over and got to a place with the great precious xue, which is a geomancy point. And naturally it formed a tomb. That's why Zhu Yanzhang became an emperor. The same with Ucchusma. And her backing mountain is Mount Ermei. So that's for a woman to become an empress. So Ucchusma became an empress because she got the help from the geomancy from the earth. And Lin Mo Niang, and that's the Ma Zhu. We all know about Ma Zhu from Putian in Fujian province, and the geomancy that her ancestors got is also the geomancy that could become goddess. So therefore, the Lin Mo Niang, the name of the woman who eventually became God, which is Ma Zhu. So the geomancy here of Rainbow Temple is incredible. I didn't want to publicize it before, but because you asked, in the least, you would reach the realms of gods. I don't care where you want to place the ash of your ancestors. However, here, we don't have that many spaces. It's best if you don't place them here, because if you do, after hearing this news, then we have no space left. But if you understand about geomancy, that you would cross the oceans and mountains, even if you live in Russia or outer Mongolia, or Yunnan or Xinjiang, Uyghur, you would still want to place them here if you understand about geomancy. But if you don't, oh well. Urusai. Troubles. So it's good that with Songji, the Life Foundation ritual, you get benefits from the geomancy and then your ancestors too. Where else can you find a great geomancy like this? And the second question by Lian Hua Hua San. If we cannot get the ash or bones of the ancestors we have buried because of other family members' disapproval, is there any other way? And you can place the clothings of ancestors. It's because the family members disapprove, because they may not be able to come to United States. Like this time with the coronavirus, it would be difficult to come to America. Normally, it's still okay. And some people don't have money. Or when you cannot get the ash or bones, what can you do? Any things that they left would still have their spirits, like the shoes that they have worn, sandals that they have worn, their hats, their clothes, anything that you left. And then you can place it here too. Let me tell you something. I don't want to say a name. Maybe you know. There's one person that person knows that Rainbow Villa is on great geomancy. That other than our Life Foundation ritual for everybody, this person especially requested private belongings to this person at the Rainbow Villa several times. How many times? Do you know? How many times? Do you know? I asked Lian Yin, and Lian Yin said he does not know. He doesn't know? And I know. And I'm not the head of the Rainbow Villa. If you know, please raise your hand. Lian Si knows. Lian Sheng knows. Lian Yan knows. Everybody knows. Only our Master Lian Yin doesn't know. It's something very strange. Whatever you ask him, he always says that he doesn't know. Very mystical, whether he really knows it or not. He doesn't let anybody knows. Knowing is the same as not knowing. Not knowing is the same as knowing. Because you don't know, that's why you know. He has placed the life foundation items at least 3 times at this rainbow temple. And this time, during the coronavirus pandemic, all businesses died down, but his business quintupled, multiplied by 5. 5 times. 5 times. If normally he gets 1, now he gets 5. So 5 times of his normal business. Oh, he's getting really rich. In Chinese, if we say something to the extreme, we would say to death. Like he's rich to death. And now he also wants to place his life foundation items at the Seattle Lian-Sheng temple. And we all know that the Seattle temple also has a geomancy point. There is the point where collect all the coming dragon points. And because of the Seattle Lian-Sheng temple, that origin makes us having over 60 temples all over the world. He wanted to bury his life foundation items there too. However, the Seattle Lian-Sheng temple had poured a lot of concrete. So there's no more open ground there. But I checked, and my own tantric quarter, next to it, there is also a precious point there. I observed the shape of the ground, that naturally there's a shape. The earth energy from here, and there's that little bomb, precious bomb there. And he really wants to place it there. But that's the territory of my tantric quarter. It's fine if you want to place it there, but there's a price to it. Really, we have it there too, really. So, the answer to the second question, if you cannot get the ash or bones, you can use things that they have worn, clothes, hats, shoes, any one of them will do. From Taiwan, 四连钉. How do you pronounce that? A Dharma teacher. I would like to ask, for the Dharma practice of the swiftest way to the Pure Land, do we visualize just one deceased person on the Dharma wheel? Or can we visualize many people? So, the Dharma practice of the swiftest way to the pure Dharma, to the Pure Land, on the Dharma wheel, do we visualize as one deceased person or many people? That's the question. Let me tell you that when one person is practicing, it's about one person. When many people are practicing together, they can do it for many people. So when one person is practicing the Dharma practice of the swiftest way to the Pure Land in your visualization, maybe you might as well just visualize the whole earth. No, no way. Right? So one person visualizes one person, and many people can visualize many people. That would be better. That would be more appropriate. Because if you overdo it or underdo it, it's not good. If you go overboard, like you visualize the people of a whole country, that's no good, because do you have enough power to do so? So it's better if an individual just visualizes one person. But when we have a group practice of many people, then we can visualize many people. That's the answer. Second, when we help our karmic creditors or a deceased person to take refuge in Grandmaster, is the benefit applied only if they are willing to rely on Grandmaster? Otherwise, there is little benefit. Don't say rely, just say this word Chinese. Those who's willing to believe and rely on Grandmaster. If not, there's little benefit. Let me tell you, it's like this. In Grandmaster's spiritual cultivation, can make 5 million people taking refuge. That depends whether his spiritual cultivation has reached the ground. If the spiritual companion has not reached the ground, then they are not considered as spiritual companion or good spiritual advisor. So reaching the ground is very important. In your spiritual cultivation, you have done the path of merit accumulation, path of preliminary practices, the path of seeing the path, and you have also practiced the path. When you have reached the practicing of the path, that is considered to be reaching the ground. And that's the level of the 10th level of Bodhisattva ground. And the first ground of Bodhisattvahood is called the joyous Bodhisattvahood. And then the third level is the abandoning the contaminant ground. And the 7th ground is the perfect ground. And then the 11th ground They all have their own names. So once you reach the ground, that means you have seen the path and you are enlightened. And then at the beginning, you practice the first ground of Bodhisattvahood. And when you attain the first ground of Bodhisattvahood, that's called the Bodhisattva of reaching the ground. And then level by level, until the 10th ground, which is awaiting the realization. And then the 11th ground, the marvelous realization. And then the 13th ground is the Vajradhara, correct realization, the Buddhahood, which is the level of the 5 Dhyani Buddhas. Only when you have reached the ground, you can become a guru of other people. When you have taken refuge, whether you have pure faith, respectful faith, or without it, and you help them taking refuge, there's still benefits to them. Because any bodhisattva that has reached the ground can change, can transform the mindset of sentient beings. So talking about the mindset of the deceased person. So that person has come to Rainbow Temple, and there are 2 lion gods, the rock lions at the Iron Gate, that's the northern lions, and the 2 lions at the main door at the hall, that's the southern lions. And he asked the northern lion for something, and it was fulfilled. And he made a vow to make offering to the northern lion. And he did prepare the gifts to offer to the 2 northern lions in front of the Rainbow Temple. And that was the Earth God temple there. And Earth God is a god. The Earth God is considered the smallest god of all gods. Yet he is able to change the thinking of that person. You should just pray to me. I am the fortune god. Why do you want to pray to that northern lion? So that person instead made the offering to the Earth God first. So he changed his mind. Because the Earth God influenced his thinking. And the northern lion got to know about it and got really angry. How could you change the person's mind that he was going to make offering to me first, and then he offered it to the Earth God first instead? One day, if you leave Rainbow Temple, the northern lion will eat this Earth God. Do you know? I still don't know. You eat my offerings first. That person, after offered it to the Earth God, offered it to the northern lion. So the northern lion got the leftover. So the northern lion got really angry, enraged, and said that if the Earth God leaves the Rainbow Temple one day, I would eat him up. So when I got to the Rainbow Temple, the Earth God prayed to me, I'm about to retire now. I want to go back to Taiwan and then to return. And then there would be a new Earth God being dispatched here. But the Northern Lion will eat me up. Please help me, Grandmaster. And I said, how can I help you? Who? How dared you eat somebody else's offerings first and you didn't even offer any to me? And then the Earth God said, the Northern Lion can fly. However, the Dragon God can fly even better. So can you please ask the Dragon God to send me off so that I can escape the chase of the Northern Lion? Wasn't it the case that when I came one time, I went to the Earth God and prayed, and then I went to the Dragon God and prayed, and then I went to the columbarium and I told the Dragon God, according to the suggestion of the Earth God, when the Earth God is about to retire and leave, I asked the Dragon God to send him off, and the Dragon God agreed. Therefore, the Earth God's life was saved, so he could go back to Taiwan. That's the drama of the gods here at the Rainbow Temple. So even an Earth God can change the thinking of someone's. So Grandmaster definitely can too. So helping a deceased person to take refuge in Grandmaster, whether they believe in Grandmaster or not, will give benefit. Third, as a reverend or Dharma teacher, should I encourage fellow disciples to help their karmic creditors or ancestors to take refuge in Grandmaster? Of course, yes. From Hong Kong, Lian Ao. In 1994, when Grandmaster transmitted Treasury's Energy Yoga, you taught us, quote, in quote, when Qi enters the central channel, you should visualize the brow chakra, the throat chakra, heart chakra, navel chakra, secret chakra, these 5 chakras revolving. First, you move the Qi to the brow chakra and to turn to the right, and use your mind to visualize the Qi to keep turning the wheel to the right. Then move the Qi to the throat chakra, also turning to the right, down to the heart chakra, turning to the right, down to the navel chakra and turning to the left, and lastly down to the secret chakra and turning to the right. Please explain, in one holding of the breath, should we visualize all 5 chakras turning or just one chakra at a time? This question is quite interesting. Do we just practice on one chakra or all 5 chakras? Meaningful questions. Danjakatsu? One by one turning. Where's Qi? then it turns there. So it's turning one by one. You know where the qi is. When qi enters central channel, it goes to the brow chakra first. Or the method of the inner fire, the qi would descend to the navel chakra first. Qi to the navel chakra first, and then to the heart chakra, and then down to the secret chakra, and then up to the heart chakra, and then throat chakra, and the brow chakra, and then descending again. So turning the chakras one by one. According to the rule of the inner fire practice, you turn it that way. Not turning the 5 chakras together. Then your mind would be multitasked 5 ways. So one mind, 5 tasks, then you cannot keep up. So the revolution of the 5 chakras should be from big circle and getting smaller, or vice versa. From small circle to and getting bigger, not the other way around, from small to big. Are the 5 chakras horizontal? And the central channel is passing through the centers perpendicularly. And the 5 chakras has the channels associated with it, like the heart or the throat. You know how many channels or lotus petals at the brow chakra and the throat chakra, how many lotus petals, the heart chakra, navel chakra, and secret chakra, each has how many lotus petals? Right. There are numbers. If you know, please raise your hand. Okay, 连续。
对的，那个是属于什么叫做莲花的瓣呢？
So the lotus petals are the channels, the main channels on the chakras.
就是那个所以5轮的旋转，以中脉垂直贯穿中心点。
The central channel is passing through the centers and perpendicular to the chakras. So revolutions are either horizontally or vertically. So when we visualize the mundus, and there's the lotus at the center, on top of it, a mantra wheel, and the revolution is 2-dimension or the other way. Some people visualize and they're turning from top to bottom, and some people is revolving. Horizontally. So every school has different direction of the rotation or revolution. But here, we should just visualize the revolution horizontally. It will be easier. Or 2D. 2D.
109页有关宝瓶器色的口诀
The next question. Grandmaster, in your book 275, Fifth Teaching in the Path of Liberation, on page 109, there is a key formula for shooting the qi during treasure-based energy yoga, and it can only be done during the first sitting. What is the first sitting? So, when you sit in your Dhamma practice, the first time you hold your breath, and when you disperse your breath, you shoot the qi to the apex only on the first times of practicing the treasure-based energy yoga. So, which is the first time you exhale, you shoot the qi toward the apex. Actually, after you open your apex, you can only shoot your apex once a month. Only once a month. Because if you shoot too many times, then you will shorten your lifespan. In order not to lose your lifespan, you only shoot the qi to the apex in the first practice and the first treasure vase. And so once you open your apex, you only practice the shooting of the qi only once a month. If you still want to shoot the qi, you have to visualize the feet of Yidam stepping on top of your apex so that the qi does not exit from the apex. So the first sitting, and which is the first practice and then the first treasure vase energy yoga, only then you can shoot the qi toward the apex. Some people, when they practice the shooting of the qi to the apex until the apex opens, then you can only shoot the qi once a month. So you have to control yourself. Because you get, it becomes habitual and you do it. And because by shooting the qi, you're shooting your life qi, and then if the life qi abandons the body or exits, then you would die. That's why you only do it at the first sitting. So now we're talking about the skillful means practices. There are three of them. One is resolution, second blessings, and third is the bliss practices. This is the skillful means. For the first one, resolution in the channel area, resolution for opening and closing the qi, resolution for the spontaneous mind sensation of warmth. Second, blessings. Blessings of the Supreme Guru, blessings of the Yidam, blessings of the outer and inner Dakini, blessings of the profound sutras and tantras of the great vehicle, blessings of all kinds of phenomena, blessings of the profound start of affinity. Third, for the bliss practices. Bliss practices relying on the spiritual experiences above, and bliss practices relying on the secret dual execution below. These are all titles. And the explanations follows. Now, about resolution. What is the resolution? Which is decisiveness. Judging. So, toward anything, we want to be able to judge, discern and judge. Is this right, wrong, or neutral? It is the first in the skillful means practices, divided into three kinds. First, resolution in the channel area. Think of the painful area and compel the mind, which is also the breath, to go there. So when you're resolute and resolution in the channel area, so wherever there's painful, you let the chi to move in the area several times to eliminate the pain. You know, when there's a pain here on the shoulder, that when you have pain in this area, you use your mind to move the chi to the area and be resolute there and let it move there several times to alleviate the pain. Second, resolution for opening and closing the chi. Take a breath and let the chi inside your body press on the painful area until it becomes unbearable. Then repeat the inhalation and pressing. So you breathe in and push the chi to the area that's painful and push it there until you cannot bear anymore. Then you disperse it, and then you repeat it. Then you can alleviate the pain. Third, resolution for the spontaneous mind sensation of the warmth. Comprehend that all meditations return to the path. During meditation, any pain on your body, any sensations, when your mind naturally enters into meditation, naturally the pain would be alleviated. So this is called the resolution for the spine sensation of the warmth. So you use your mind to alleviate the pain. When you don't let the mind dwell on the pain, and the mind is dwelling on the meditation, when you enter into meditation, the pain is naturally resolved. That's the meaning by this resolution. Let me share jokes. I have an internet friend that we've been chatting for over a year. And the internet name is called The Little Girl. And she's inviting me to her house today. And I lied to my family members, and I drove over 100 kilometers, and I got there, and when I knocked on the door, the one opened the door was a middle-aged lady, and I got called on. I thought she's the lonely little girl, and I thought that was her. And I asked her, and instead she cried out and said, "Mom, someone's looking for you. Therefore, you cannot believe anything on the internet. Don't be so horny, driving over 100 kilometers to meet the lonely little girl. You didn't know that it turned out to be a grandma." So internets are just fake. Like photos on the internet look really beautiful. And when I see the person, oh my gosh. The eyebrows down, and the eyes are falling down, and with no spirits, like the eyes of dead fish. So strange. How could they change it into such a beautiful photo? The ancient alchemy of like changing into change your look or your face into beautiful lady or really old lady with white hair. So we should not believe all those that's on the internet. There are lots of fake news. Those with tiny eyes become really huge, and vice versa, protruding eyes becomes. So let me tell you, after this Ganapathi Homa, you can go buy lottery, power lottery. And the joke is, it's okay if you don't win the lottery, and I would still be able to boast to my kids that I once invested in the 3 trillion investment. So you just spend a few dollars buying the lottery, and yet you can say it as is investing in the 3 trillion investment. I think there were 2 people, 2 groups of people winning the lottery. What is the total price? 3 billion dollars. I remembered someone in Zhushan, Nantou. Several people from in the bank bought the lottery together, and the one in Nantou was also in Zhushan. Why do I remember them clearly? I don't know. I think I've told this joke, but it's okay. The husband told the wife, whenever I see you wearing stockings, I always have this undescribable feeling. And the wife was very happy and asking, so what kind of feeling it is? It's like the white radish being wrapped in the saran wrap. This is a good joke today, because Ganapathi loves carrots and radishes most. And and legs in Chinese is like radish legs. And Ganapathi loves bananas most. And the yellow pickle radish is called takuan. Japanese loves to eat that pickled radish, takuan. On Father's Day, Mom asked Dad, do you want to play in the water? And Dad replies, yeah, sure, let's go play in the water. And Mom said, now we have something ready. And Dad asked, what is it? And Mom said, washing the dishes. Oh no. That's also playing with the water. There's a difference there. Washing the dishes and playing in the water. Another question. Who is the big boss of the fruit world? The king of fruits. The answer is apple. Because apple has tempted Eve, Adam and Eve. And the Snow White died of being poisoned by apple. And Newton was napping under an apple tree, and when an apple fell on his head, he discovered the theory of gravity. And now, in these modern days, is the Apple, the iPhone. So how do I face my own life? That my room gives me all the answers. What is the roof? That your goals should be high. And the fan, you should remain cool. And the clock, you should treasure the time. And the calendar, that you want to keep improving. And the wallet, you have to keep the balance sheet. And the mirror, you want to reflect upon yourself. And the desk lamp, you want to shine upon others. And the pillars, you want to bear the burdens. And the windows, you have to open your views. And the floor, you have to be grounded. And the stairs, you need to watch your own footsteps or under your footsteps. And the most touching one is the toilet. That when it's time to put down or let go, you should let go. That's what the toilet says. That's true. When you have to let go, you have to let go. When it's time to let go, you have to let go. If you cannot let go, you will be afflicted. For spiritual cultivators are like this. When it's time to let go, you have to let go. Then you have no afflictions. Then if you cannot, that would be the start of your affliction. Om Mani Padme Hum. We are truly grateful to His Holiness precious Dharma teachings. This ends the English interpretation today. Thank you very much.
We now conclude this live broadcast. Thank you for viewing.